Should you make a series or should you make a feature film? The answer has everything to do with your priorities in terms of where you are in your career and what you're trying to achieve with this next project. So in an earlier video, I talked a little bit about the priorities that you have going into a project. Regardless of what your priorities are, everybody should know what they want to get out of a project before they even get started. Before I start any project, I ask myself, where am I in my career right now and what do I need to get out of this next project? So for example, if I've been working for a while in the industry and all of my projects are older and they don't represent what I can do right now today, my top priority might be a calling card that shows what my skill set is right now. If I'm in a place in my career where I have a calling card, people know who I am, and it's very clear what I do, but I haven't made the money that I wanted to make in the industry, then making money may be my top priority for my next project. If I'm in a place where people don't really know who I am, I'm not getting hired, my names aren't being talked about in rooms, I don't have representation, or I'm not up for jobs in the film industry, then my top priority may be getting accolades, things like awards and press and things like that that I need to push my name out there. That might be my top priority. And if I'm in a place where I have vision, I have ideas, I have creativity, but I really haven't had a ton of experience putting those ideas into fruition and making them possible, then things like experience, getting my hands dirty, finishing something that I'm proud of. I've taken something from idea all the way to execution and I'm confident in my skill set. Then something like experience, getting my hands dirty, working to be able to gain those skill sets, that might be my top priority. Now, while you may have several priorities for your next project, you want to accomplish 2 or 3 or 4 of those things, you need to know what the top thing is. And once you decide what the top thing is that you need for where you are in your career right now, that's going to determine whether a feature film or a series is going to be best suited for your next project. That's because a feature film is more of a calling card project. So mounting a feature, that's what we call in the industry, when you mount a feature. So let's say you've made shorts before, but you haven't made a feature, then whoever may be hiring you for your next opportunity, whether it's directing a television show or making your next film, getting funding or whatever, the idea is like, have you mounted a feature yet? Can you create scenes that build up to a suspense and story and all of that? So mounting your feature may be the next project if the calling card thing is what you need. When it comes to storytelling, gaining experience, getting your hands dirty, and putting your work out there, something like a series that you can fund yourself, like a web series or something like that, that may be more appropriate for you if that kind of thing is your priority. If making money and having your project create a return is the most important thing for you in terms of like whatever business that your project does, then it may be more important for you to make a feature film because there's more of a market for a feature film that you'll have control over as an independent storyteller than it is for a series, given the fact that if you make a series yourself and put it out there, it's less monetizable. Getting distribution for your series is less independent, meaning you have less control over the distribution opportunity if you want to make a series. When it comes to making money in the box office, yes, it is true that less people are going to the physical movie theater than they are years ago, but that doesn't mean that there's less money to be made in feature film because people are streaming feature films and there's more of a marketplace in terms of buyers and sellers for feature film than there is for series. However, if you are an artist who knows that you only want to work in episodic or mostly want to work in episodic, then creating a calling card for you in the episodic form, as long as it's something you can afford to do without more control over getting that series to more traditional distribution outlets, then that may make more sense for you, just knowing that that's your goal overall. The most important thing to understand when choosing between a feature film or a series is understanding, 1, what your priority is, and 2, what's happening in the market. Even though people aren't going to the theater as much as possible, films are still easier to sell because there's more distribution outlets for film than there are for series, and series are more expensive to fund over time, which means that there's less opportunities for independent filmmakers unless you're looking to just get the series out there and build an audience, or build your craft in the episodic format and not necessarily looking to make money from your project. Either way, making those decisions ahead of time before you do any creative is how you're going to save time, money, and effort. I hope this helps. Happy writing.